What's next for you? How do you feel? What's going through your mind right now?
Hey there, bare knuckle fight fans. Look who I got in the house today. Estevan Payan. Estevan, how are ya?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm great. So, Estevan, how is training camp coming along?
Uh, Training, it's like any other day. You just gotta keep grinding, being in the gym. Basically, like I'll set the timer for a set time, and I'll start working the bags. Depends on how I'm feeling. If my knuckles are all cut up or anything. So depends if I put gloves on, but I still won't wrap my hands if I use my 10-ounce gloves. And sometimes I just punch the bag without gloves. And then you guys all seen my how I punch the steel beams. That's that's just it's just like in between rounds I'll punch the beam and stuff. And if, a lot of people when they see my knuckles, like you just touch them and they're huge. Like they just continue to grow and get bigger.
What have you done differently to prepare for Ishe?
For Ishii, like everyone keeps telling me like, oh, he's an ex-world champion boxer. I'm like, well, that's cool because that doesn't mean shit in bare knuckle. Bare knuckle's a whole different sport. And if everyone doesn't, no one realizes that. Like I tell everybody, it's different to get hit with a glove than it is a bare fist. It's a whole different sport in itself. Some people say it's like MMA, well, because you can like my last fight with Antonio Tarver, where he was like, oh, you can't. He's grabbing the back of his head. It's like, well, no shit. You can do that in this. This isn't boxing.
Speaking of that, that was one thing I was going to ask you about because you had a chance to fight bare knuckle already in David Feldman's organization at BKFC 1, and you won. So, what can you take away from that fight and use strategically in this fight coming up?
Uh, what can I take? I hit hard. You said you saw that fight. Even without gloves, they still throw punches. Like I said, all you can expect is for me to come bring a fight. Like yeah, I don't have gloves to protect my hands, and I understand that, but I can still hit hard.
Do you feel like this is being built as a classic MMA versus boxing match?
Uh, it's not the MMA versus boxing match. First off, like here's one of the things with me. Like before I started fighting MMA, I used to do amateur boxing in New York, and it's funny because like every time I go train with MMA guys, they call me the boxer, and then when I go train with boxers, they call me the MMA guy. And then fuck the bare knuckle guys, they just said I'm a crazy son of a bitch. So as I said, it's to me it's just fighting. That's all I see it as is a fight.
And as a combat veteran, I appreciate that because you fought some of the best and you've been fighting a long time. How important is this fight to you then?
Important? So not so much important. Like fun. That's what it's gonna be. You know what I mean? Like I fight because I enjoy it.
So much of the game is mental for a fighter, and often we forget that. No disrespect, but you are coming off a loss. I'm just wondering if you can share with fans how you mentally overcome that going into this fight, because it's good advice for people who are kind of on the downside of things. I feel that the information you can share would apply to other people.
Coming off of a loss. Well, that's the thing where you gotta realize, like, how could I be coming off a loss when I've only got one in bare knuckle fight? This is a whole different sport. Like I said, I'm coming off a loss in MMA, a sport that I don't even get to train for. People, like I said, a lot of people don't understand like I said, the difference of the sports. Like bare knuckle, like even the guy, like after I fought that one kid in the loss. And here's one of the things people didn't realize with that loss: the guy couldn't knock me out on my feet. Why do you think he took me down? He kept trying to hit me, but he couldn't hurt me. And then one thing now here's the thing you gotta ask yourselves, like, okay, now imagine if he didn't have his little bitch mitts. Imagine if he didn't have gloves. What would have happened to his hands? Then how much easier would it have been for me to fight a choke because his hands are broken? That's why his punches couldn't hurt me because he wasn't hitting me correctly.
Good point.
It gives you that. Like I said, everyone, the kids I train, I tell them you set this error of margin. Like I teach them a certain thing, and until they master that or learn it very fucking specific, I don't move them on. Now the same thing with this. Now you have this error of margin because you can punch, and it doesn't matter what part of the glove you hit with because it's gonna protect your hand. So he got, like I said, he got away throwing those punches. But I said if it was bare knuckle, who knows how it would have ended. It was the same thing with I was telling someone about the Henry Cejudo versus Marlon Moraes. Watch that fight. Henry Cejudo, okay, his legs were beat to shit. But now you got to think about Moraes. Think about if Moraes had fucking shin pads, what would have happened to Henry? Would have been dead because Moraes would have had the protection for his shins to where he could have kept kicking and kicking and kicking. But he couldn't because he didn't have fucking bitch mitts on his fucking shins. Now Henry, imagine Henry, he was throwing sloppy punches. Now he breaks his hand. And then what? Like I said, you don't know who would have won. Like people don't think about think about the old school UFC fights. How we used to be so bored. Like what the fuck are they doing? They're just lying there hugging each other. Well, that's why they did that shit because no one could throw punches anymore. And the UFC, that's what they did. Like, oh shit, like how can we keep these fights going and entertaining? Okay, we got to get these guys gloves so they can protect their hands. But it's not even so much of protecting their hands; it's just knowing how to throw a punch, not being an idiot. You know, like I'm gonna walk towards you, swinging my fist like this. Hopefully, I don't hit you. That's what they do now because they got the protection from the gloves.
You know, you've fought so many different styles. Moving forward, are you going to stay with bare knuckle, maybe go back into MMA? Which is your kind of in your heart and soul right now?
Like it's hard, really. It's about fighting. I enjoy the competition of it. I enjoy combat. It's it's a test. It's you just to test yourself. Like learn more about yourself.
All right, fight fans. Ken Shamrock's Valor BK1 goes down Saturday, September 21st. You can catch the fight on Fight TV, Dish, DirecTV, or your local cable provider. Thank you so much for your time, and I wish you good luck.
All right, thank you.